Hi all, Bill Greenberg with PhoneScholar.com. Well, we made it through another week. Today's Friday, September 17th, 2010. Here's a brief summary of what's on the website today, but to see the full stories, and I think you're going to want to see the full stories on some of these today, go to www.phonescholar.com. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please send them to me at blogquestions@phonescholar.com. Please excuse the scruffiness. I have a little thing we're doing this weekend with the family, a little kind of family skit for the holidays and for the Jewish holidays, and this is kind of part of the thing. So I do apologize. This will be gone on Monday, I promise you. Anyway, here we go. Samsung unveils Tab the tablet, and it's finally been official, even though I've already put a bunch of stories out about it. But last night in New York, Samsung had an event where they officially announced the Tab. Now on the website are two videos of hands-on usage for it, and one of the neatest things that I saw, I'm not going to go huge into specs because I put them on a number of stories already, and you can go into tablets and Android and see those under categories in the website. But one of the cool things which I hadn't seen before is the fact that the Samsung Tab does have cell phone capability. It has a cell phone dialer and everything in it. The situation is they're just not sure yet if the carriers, and it has been announced that all 4 carriers are going to be carrying this, and it should be coming out possibly as early as the end of this month. But they haven't determined yet if the carriers are going to activate the ability to use it as a cell phone. If they do, then obviously it has a huge advantage over the iPod for that, for half the price. Well, it looks like it's going to be half the price. Plus it has the front-facing camera for video chat, plus a rear-facing camera with flash. So this looks like it could be the real deal. The main reason why is because they're not sure and there's no pricing, is they're not sure if the carriers are going to subsidize it with a contract. They are making 3G Wi-Fi models and Wi-Fi only models, and the speculation is that the 3G models are going to be priced with subsidy and have cell phone capability in them. So we'll have to see. Now, of course, they don't have an actual earphone and speaker like a regular phone, so to hold it up to your face won't make do, but you can use a speakerphone that's in it, and you can also, of course, use Bluetooth. So it looks like it's going to be pretty good. It comes with a 4,000 milliamp battery, and I know that means that's techie and everything, but just to give you an idea, in the regular Galaxy S phones, which all this is basically, they're saying a 7-inch Galaxy S. It's just an expanded Galaxy S phone. But it does have the batteries that are in that are 1,500 milliamps, so it's almost 3 times the size battery, which gives 7 hours of full usage time. So looks like it's going to be a real neat device. Samsung also announced their Media Hub, which yesterday in the story that I said in the upgrade to the Epic, it said the Media Hub was being added, but yet they have yet to officially announce it or say that it's been going out there. So I'm not quite sure what that is, but Media Hub is the ability to rent or watch movies and TV through your device. So pretty cool, and they also, if you take a look into Samsung, has upgraded and put out a new design for their website. So all in all, a real good night for Samsung. Check out the 2 videos that are on there. I think you'll enjoy the product. Next, improved Android battery life, and here's how. For those of you who have Android phones, there's 10 steps to helping to improve your battery life. Now this will also work with quite a number of other smartphones. Some of the things on here I've used with my BlackBerry and it works well. Number 1 is the Wi-Fi. If you don't need the Wi-Fi, and this is the first thing I did with my BlackBerry, is I turned off the Wi-Fi and saved a ton of battery life, because if you're not using the Wi-Fi constantly searches for the signal, and so that causes the battery to drain. So check that out. Number 2, turn off your Bluetooth if you don't need it. That also, again, constantly searches, so it uses that. Number 3, check-ins on the socials. For those of you who have automatic check-ins on the social networking, Twitter, Facebook, etc., that automatically do the updates and everything, again, that drains. Change that to a manual update, so you go in there and you check it yourself. So it's, again, basically all of these kind of relate to the phone constantly looking and trying to connect to something, and that's what causes the battery life. The next one is like syncing suspects, apps that stay synced at all times, again, to give information, download information automatically, change those to manual settings. App Detective in your Android phone. You go to the About phone and then the battery use, and it tells you what apps are using what percentage of power, and if your least used app is using your most power, you might want to shut it off or turn it down. Next, kill your task killers. Constantly shutting off the tasks don't do it, but every time you kill the task, it restarts that part of that task over again, and that's what drains the battery, so take that out. Number 7 is location settings. Make sure your GPS is set to a point where, again, it may not have to ping the phone at all times. You may, again, want to do that manually, or set it up like I did with the Google Maps, so every time you go in there, you have to ask it to find your location, as opposed to pinging it at all times. Next, dim your display. The display takes power usage, so if you dim that. Timeout. If you go to display menu and then the screen timeout, and what that does is how long the screen stays on. Now, I have mine longer because for me it's a pain in the butt when I'm trying to do something and the screen just pops off after 20 seconds. That's a personal preference. I'd rather drain a little more power and keep the screen on longer, but that's up to you. And then finally, 10, get help. There's in the article, there's a thing called Juice Defender, and I put a link directly to it. And this free app on the app world, it lets you govern your phone's power usage. So that looks like a really good app. I did put a link on there at the end of it, so go ahead and check that out. I think if you follow these 10 things or do 5 of these 10 things, those of you who say my battery's only lasting half a day, this may help out with that. So check it out, especially the Wi-Fi. I'll tell you that if you don't use Wi-Fi, turn it off. That was the biggest one for me. Next, good security tools now support Verizon Wireless Android phones. This is mostly for business applications, but for those of you who have been looking for a good security and management software system for your phones, your Android phones, Good is one of the best on the market. I've used it, I've played with it, I've seen it, and it's a tremendous product. It really does mimic the business enterprise server security and management that BlackBerry has enjoyed for years. So again, I put a link onto the article that can set you up for this, so go ahead and take a look at that. Under categories, under Verizon and Android, update. Here we go. Sorry folks that have this. No Froyo for Droid Eris, Verizon Wireless confirms. There will not be a Froyo update for the Eris at all, period. There's even speculation that there may not be any patch updates coming in the near future. Now the problem is there's a lot of people, the Eris is only about a year old, and there's people who are on one-year contract, and Verizon has not announced anything about doing early upgrades and stuff. What I would do personally is call customer care and let them know that you're not happy with that. And I've dealt with Verizon customer care for years. I've worked for Verizon, and a lot of times they'll give you some kind of discount towards if you want to get a Droid 2 or a Droid X or something like that. But work with them, especially if you're a long-time customer with them. Let them know how upset you are over this because you have this specifically for that. The other option is you can root the phone, and I truly don't know exactly the route to do that, but there's all kinds of information on the Android market and, the Android forums that will tell you how to root the phone, and that way you can actually, because rooting is a form of hacking the phone, but it will give you the ability to add extra apps, and possibly there are some upgrades that you can use that will do that. So check that out. Next, on Verizon and Microsoft, and this is just a side note for those of you who've been waiting, to reiterate, no Windows 7 at Verizon Wireless until 2011. And the way it's looking, it's probably not going to be late until 2011, because it just doesn't seem right now, based on all the stories I've read, that Verizon is that interested in Windows 7. Now, of course, that could turn around in a month. But basically, AT&T has already announced that they're going to be a leader in the Windows 7 phones, and I think Verizon is letting them have it, especially if they get the iPhone. So that's what I got for that. That's all I got for today. I hope everybody has a spectacular weekend. For those of my Jewish faith, have a good fasting and a good Yom Kippur, and I will talk to you on Monday.